Greg McDermott.
Really proud of the defensive job we did. Especially the way Bensley Joseph and Jaden have been playing. I thought we forced them into some tough shots. I thought Jemiah and Steven and the guys that came off the bench did a good job making their life difficult. And then, over 50% from the field, against a team that's been defending really well. So really good win for us. Providence had been playing great basketball, it's Big East basketball, so anytime you get a win, you feel good about it.
Questions for the student athletes?
Isaac, it was kind of back and forth there. Most of the game, it seemed like that's the way it was going to go down the stretch, and then you caught fire. What happened there?
I can't remember who found me on the first one, but I was pretty open. He found me, and then after that, they just kept finding me. I was kind of hunting shots after I hit that first one because it felt pretty good, and I felt like in the flow of the offense I could get some opportunities. So the guys just found me, and I knocked them down.
That third one was really off balance. Have you ever taken one like that in your college career and you get down this smooth?
Was that the one on the right wing or
left
left corner? Oh yeah, that was off balance. That was kind of a heat check, but it went in, so it's all right.
I'll be the judge of that.
Ryan, I mean, just obviously they're big because they're points, but I mean, in terms of momentum, what did Isaac's kind of heater do to change the game a little bit?
I mean, obviously when you go 4 for 4 in like 4 minutes of play or whatever it was, it's a big boost to offense. Was able to stretch out the lead because, like you said, we were going back and forth with them for a little bit, and it's sometimes a dangerous game to play. So to kind of build that lead and stretch out a little bit was big time for us.
Ryan, I think Steven found you on lobs like 4 times in the first half. How are you guys able to kind of get you loose, whether transition or the half court, and what are you guys seeing to make that an option for you tonight?
I think it's just look. I mean, when you're 7-1, it's not that hard to go up and catch a ball and dunk. So Steve does a great job of looking for it, and when I actually run the floor well and run out of a screen well, then those things sort of open up for us because they either have to commit to taking away my lob or commit to taking away Steve-O's layup, and Steve does a great job of reading that and flipping it up when they commit to him or taking the layup when they can stay on me.
You played with some pretty special distributors in your time here. R2, Trey last year, Steven was here. Obviously, you have Steven this year.
Yeah.
What is it about the connection between you and Steven that has really flourished this season and especially over the last, 2 weeks or so?
Yeah, I mean, he's just a high-level player and a high-level thinker. He sees the game in a really, really high-level way. He's thinking 12 steps ahead all the time. So when you're playing with a guy like that, you just know he's going to see the play before it happens. He's going to find you if you're open. So it's really special. It makes my life a lot easier when you play with a guy like that.
You think he was going to throw that one from half court?
Oh, yeah. I didn't know where the hoop was, so I was just hoping I was somewhere close to it when I jumped.
They had some success at the rim early in the game, but it seemed like as the game went on, you were able to affect more of their attempts down low. Did you change anything with your depth, or just start to read their shots better?
I think Oswin's probably one of the best lob threats we've played this year, so just kind of feeling out, how much I could hedge up on those guards coming down the lane and how much I had to stay on Oswin without giving up the lob. So I think I was a bit hesitant at first to give up that lob, but then I sort of started to feel it out through the game how much I could help off him and how much, So I think as the game went on, I got better at reading that.
Ryan, what does this type of win do for this team's confidence, especially headed to back-to-back road games?
Yeah, I mean, like Max said, any win in the Big East is tough to come by. So whenever you get one, no matter road, home, where it's at, it's a confidence builder, especially Providence is a really good team. They've been playing really good basketball, so it just furthers our belief that we're a really good team too, and we can play with anyone.
You've seen it firsthand. You've been a part of it too, obviously. How does it change this team when your guys' bench comes off and you have 13 and Mason had 8 and Fedor chipped in a little bit? What do those bench contributions do for you guys as a team?
I think it's really important. Obviously, our main guys are going to score a lot every game and do everything for us offensively. But if guys off the bench can provide a spark here and there, make a couple of threes, get some stops on defense, that's huge, and it really opens up, the focus off of those guys, because then we have 5 threats on the floor, with shooters out there.
Isaac, is that your best spurt in college? Like, K to 3?
Probably, yeah. As far as shooting, I got scored on a couple times, so I have to fix that. But, yeah, as far as scoring, probably, yeah.
2 more for the guys.
You guys have, Ryan, you guys have played some really close ones. That Villanova game went down to the wire, and the St. John's one. Marquette, you were right there at the end, and Butler, obviously. What did it mean to you guys to be able to breathe a bit tonight, to have a 20-point win?
Yeah, it's a little less stressful. I think that's one less gray hair for Max, so that's always a win. But yeah, it's you learn a lot in those close games, but sometimes it's a little less stressful to be able to pull away at the end, and you also learn from that too, because you learn how to execute some things to not let the other team get back in the game. So I think it was still going to be a good learning experience for us.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Enjoy the day off. Good job.
Sounds good.
Questions for Coach?
Yeah, defensively, I think between Bensley and Jaden, they've been putting up about 40 between them over the 4 games since they made the switch to bring Bensley off the bench tonight. 9 points, 19 shots. Like, what did you guys do defensively?
Yeah, we're able to keep Kalk back in the paint, so we were able to block some of their cuts. I thought Jemiah did a fantastic job not letting Jaden get started, because once he gets started, he's hard to stop. And Bensley was incredible in their last game, 7 of 9 from 3. And I just didn't think, we maybe lost him one time where it was pretty open, but I thought the other ones were challenged. So I just thought our guards were really locked in, and you have the comfort of knowing Kalk's back there, so you can take some chances and try to keep it out of their hands. And we executed that pretty well. Missed a few blockouts that we have to clean up, but as Kalk said, Oswin he's really athletic. Corey Floyd does a great job getting to the offensive glass. He's physical. He plays low, and he moved us a few times on those offensive rebounds.
Ryan has a few years on Oswin, obviously. What did you think of how Ryan handled the first meeting between the two?
Yeah, I did. I wasn't happy with him early because I thought Oswin was having some things a little bit too easy, and Ryan, I didn't think went to the rim with a couple of his shots. And when you got a younger player, you need to be physical and you need to go at him and not let him kind of go at you. And but once he settled in, he was really good, and he's shooting that 3-point shot really well, and that just opens up so many things for us and creates space for everybody else. So he's having a heck of a year. Our fans need to enjoy it because it's been a pretty special run that we've been able to witness with him.
They were kind of, face guarding those DHOs that you guys run a lot. I think Fedora and Steven started kind of back cutting them to get some advantage situations. Did you address that in a timeout, or is that just them?
No, they've done that all year, so we knew it was coming. So we worked on it in practice and walked through today. So probably didn't do it as much as we needed to at times, but we operated in the middle of the floor with ball screens. That's kind of the best way to attack that pressure. And Steven's so good at getting to those mid ranges, and he knocks those shots down. And but it was a good mix. And we in transition, some good things happened. We were able to get some threes, and good to see Mason make a couple. He's doing a lot of other good things. He needed to see the ball go in. And if we're going to reach our ceiling, we need Mason to play at the level that he can. We need Fedor to kind of catch up. I told him, with 3 minutes left when he went in, this is a really important stretch for you. Go out there and play within our offense and, hunt some shots. So I think any time that, he has some success, it's just going to help his confidence and get him a little bit more comfortable in what we're doing on both ends of the floor.
Can you expand on how impactful not only Isaac but Mason was off the bench tonight?
Yeah, it's huge. Jackson gets his 3rd foul early in the second half, and Isaac was ready. Those guys, they all do it. Ty and Jackson and Isaac and Steven, they're all in the gym every single day doing their work. So they're ready if their number's called. And Mason's continued to work in practice. He shot it well in practice, but his understanding of our spacing, of movement, and then defensively his ability to chase some guys off screens is something that we're going to need moving forward. So I've said it all along. I think he just needed to see a couple shots go in, and then hopefully he can get back to the old Mason from an offensive standpoint.
Kim called him different. How would you describe a guy who can block?
Called who different?
Kalkbrenner. How would you describe a guy who can block 6 shots without committing a foul and give that level of protection?
Yeah, I mean he does so much, and I think coaches in our league, and obviously there's some great defenders in our league across the board. There's a lot of great guards, but what he does for us is what he blocks is such a small part of the impact he has. Some people just don't go in there. There's for every block he has, there's 2 shots. There's at least for every 1 block, there's 2 shots that somebody takes that they have to throw higher to get over his hand, and they end up usually being misses. And then there's a bunch of shots they don't even think about taking because he's there. So he impacts the game in such an incredible way, and he's so intelligent with what he does. Understands when to leave his feet, when not to leave his feet, when to wall up. It's just been so much fun to coach him, and back-to-back games, I think, with 6 blocks, which is, is pretty incredible.
You knew when this roster was being put together that Steven and Ryan were kind of going to be the guys you leaned on this year, but through the last, I think I asked them, 4 or 5 games, what is it about them that's really kind of been those 2 down the stretch to close it out, and they've been able to do it?
Well, they've played their whole career for this. They're both in their 5th year. They both have a lot of game experience, and that knowledge is powerful. You're trying to teach some of the other guys, and these guys are helping me teach it, and they're ahead of me at some points with what they say. And you heard Ryan talk about Stevens. The way he sees the game is different. It's special. And he'll come to me with some things that he sees on the floor that we adjust. So they're everyday guys. They don't really change their expression that much. Their teammates know what they're going to get out of them every single day, and most importantly, they've protected our culture. And it's that lesson in itself is so valuable to the younger people in our program because it gives us a chance to hold on to it moving forward in a time where it's very difficult to do that in college athletics.
2 more.
How much did you feel like Isaac and Jason changed the game in the ways that they're capable of changing?
Yeah, I mean, it's different ways. Jason's defensively and rebounding and, sticking his nose in there. I believe he got Jaden in the post one time and made a nice play. And he's got a big body, and then Isaac stretches the floor. And Isaac, I didn't think he had his best defensive game tonight, but his improvement defensively from a year ago is significant. So that's been good to see, and he's been out there in some critical times in games because he's doing a great job defensively.
You tied Luke Harnaseka with as far as Big East wins. Does that just mean you're old, or
yeah, it does.
Or
Thanks,
what does that
Mike.
mean, I guess,
Yeah.
to you, because he's a legendary.
Yeah, I mean it's we've been in the Big East now is it 11 years, 12? Is this 12? So we've had a lot of good teams, and when you have good teams, you got a chance to win. If you don't have good teams, you're not going to break any records because you're probably going to be gone. That's just the reality of the profession. So, but to have my name and his name in the same sentence doesn't, growing up watching Big East basketball back in the day, it doesn't seem like that should be accurate because he was one of the best of all time.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Thanks, Max.